Hey everybody, welcome back to Electric Cafe. A couple weeks ago, I did a video of what I'm listening to, and I kind of wanted to. I was thinking about how to properly do that, or how I wanted to do that, and I think the best thing to do is probably like I'm going to try to commit to every 2 weeks. Just do an overview and show what I reviewed in the last 2 weeks, and then what I plan to review in the next 2 weeks. Just an idea. But also kind of give a little bit of space to also add a couple additional ones that I'm going to review. But I want to try to commit to, like, 20 per every 2 weeks, and hopefully record those and video and record the video. So it's a lot, but I think I can get to like 20. I've been doing probably about 8 or 9 the last 2 weeks each, so I can probably do about 20. If not, a little bit of overflow, I'll kind of adjust it from there. But I kind of wanted to, if anybody didn't want to watch a bunch of videos or scroll through a bunch of videos, at least they can see what I reviewed in one video very quickly, and then what I plan to review coming up. So, hopefully maybe you guys might look forward to the review, or see what's on my docket to review. So kind of looking at, and then also I just want to mention, some other things that I've been listening to that I necessarily didn't rate. So I'm gonna try to keep the video kind of quick on these, at least under like 20 minutes, I hope, and just show them real quick, and then kind of move on and go from there. So just some that I reviewed in the past 2 weeks. If you guys didn't see the videos, I got a chance to review Aha's 1988 album, The Blood That Moves the Body, right? That's what this one's called? No, Stay on These Roads. I forgot that. I also reviewed Erasure's Chorus from 1991. I reviewed Cause and Effect's 1994 album Trip. I also got a chance to review Clock DVA's 1988 album Buried Dreams. Got to review Caustic Grip by Frontline Assembly's 1990 album. I also reviewed let me see. I also reviewed Human League's Romantic. I got a chance to review Duran Duran's debut album from 1981, I think it was. I got a chance to review ABC's How to Be a Millionaire from 1985. Gary Newman's Strange Charm album from 1986. Alison Moyet's 1985 album Alf. And then also got a chance to review Peter Gabriel's debut album Car. Also did Moo's 1982 album Zimmer Kampf. I got a chance to check out and review Tangerine Dream's Cyclone from 1978. These are all my personal copies. I'm just kind of going through them just to show you what I reviewed in the last one in case people don't want to skip through. I also reviewed John Fox's I don't know why I always want to say Metamatrix on this. Metamatic from 1980. I reviewed Lou Reed's Street Hassle from 1978. Also Cabaret Voltaire's The Arm of the Lord from 1985. I reviewed Severed Heads, The Big Bigot from 1986. Notice how all my records are in sleeves, isn't that awesome? I spent like $2,000 on 10,000 sleeves. Aren't I the cool guy? Nitzreb's 1987, The Total Age, reviewed that one as well. I also reviewed The Spoons 1982 album, Areas and Symphonies. I reviewed Killing Jokes, 1,000 Hours from 1986. Well, if you look at these releases and you're like, you don't have, I think all these showing these releases shows they have pretty varied taste in music for the most part. I mean, I don't like pop music too much, but everything else I'm pretty much down for. I reviewed Mark Allman's 1988 album, The Stars We Are. probably the releases that I'm going to do next week, I even chose a little bit more randomness to kind of test myself and do kind of some different stuff. I also reviewed Brotherhood by New Order, 1985. I also reviewed Visage. Their debut album, which I always forget the name, is also Visage, which makes sense. That's from 1981, right? 1980. I also reviewed Gary Newman's Warriors from 1983. And lastly, I reviewed Roxy Music's Manifesto from 1979, I think it was. Yeah, so that's what I got a chance to review last week. A lot of music, roughly about 20 or so records. Roughly about that, I think. So what I'm planning on reviewing this week, and the next week, at least for the most part, get through the next 3 weeks. It may take a little longer than that, but I'm hoping on 2 weeks. We'll see if I can do it. I definitely listen to it probably about, if 20 divided by 2 is roughly 3 albums a day almost. I generally do 2 records a day. I don't know if I can pull 3 consistently, but we'll see what happens. The nice thing about even if it's not, even if I'm not at home to do it, at least I can still listen to an album before I go to bed, or the joys of digital music. I don't always have to be at home to listen to my records and cassettes and stuff like that. So what I plan to listen to the next 2 weeks, I think for the most part okay. There's a couple that I don't actually have. I'm trying to also include a couple records that I don't have into my reviews. They're from bands that I really like. They're from bands that I may somewhat know a little bit about. Some of them I have other albums by, but just don't have this album. That's the case with these two, the first two. So the first two I'm going to review is Concrete Blonde's second album from 1989, Free. So Concrete Blonde is a rock and roll band from Los Angeles. And then also I'm going to review Clan of Zymoy's debut album from 1985, which unfortunately I don't have. Still haven't got around to getting, but I'm going to review those as well. And then the rest of them I actually have right here in my hand. So I'm going to review Paul Young's The Secret of Association. So we're going to review that. I think that's from 85. I'm also going to review Jan Hammer's Make Love record. I talk about some varied music here. I'm going to be, this definitely shows you what varied music I like. I'm also going to review Grace Jones' Inside Story record as well. Going to review Telex Neurovision. Should be cool. Oh, of course, I've already heard it, but I'm really excited to really actually review them and see, not just play a couple of tracks and, or play the album, but really sit down and kind of really try to rate them. I'm it's kind of excited. It's the reason why I'm trying to do it, but yeah, it's kind of fun doing it. It's a new way to listen to your music, is really kind of rate them like that. I'm going to review, I think this is their debut album, or it might be their second album, I always forget. It's the only Motels record I have. And I forget the name. Is it, I think it might be self-titled. Of course, I know they're popular 2 songs, but this is, I think, the album before that. So I'm going to review and rate the Motels record. I'm also going to do the Alan Parsons Project, which I actually listened to last night. It was the first one on here, Vulture Culture. I'm also going to review a little prog rock in UK from on EG Editions label. So I'm going to review that. So look forward to that. I'm also going to review Death in June's Dada. Very cool. I'm also going to review, which actually, funny enough, I still haven't opened. It's from 2014 or 2012 reissue. I still haven't opened it. and I still haven't heard it. Apparently, this is a very classic album, and I'm not the hugest punk fan, but I always try to expand my mind and expand my collection and listen to something I I don't know, but I'm looking forward to. But yeah, I've never heard the Television album, Marquee Moon, so I'm looking forward to checking that out. Um, that's the only one in here that's new to me that I'm listening to. Besides, well, actually, I know some of the like on Free and the Concrete Blonde's album and Clan on My. I know a couple tracks on it, but I've never heard the album. I'm going to review Emerson, Lake and Palmer's Brain Salad Surgery. I'm also going to review Close One Sad Eye by Community FX. Also going to review Camouflages. I think this is their second album, Methods of Silence, right? 1989. Might be the third album. I always forget. Going to also review Billy Currie from Ultravox, his album Transportation. Going to review The Style Cancel, Paul Weller, Internationalist. I think it's from 84, 83. So I'm going to review that. Also going to review Howard Jones, Dream into Action. Threw a couple popular ones in there, huh? Going to review Tears for Fears, Seeds of Love. I'll tell you this right away, I don't like the popular, I like Tears for Fears, but I don't like singing Seeds of Love. I don't like that song at all. I'll probably still give it 3 stars because I know it's a good song, but I don't like it. Okay, I want some big reviews here. We got some heavy hitters coming up. Really looking forward to reviewing this classic, Sisters of Mercy Floodland. God, I hate Mobile Fidelity. I still bought this because I didn't feel like I've had Floodland on cassette since it came out. I've had CD on. I have a couple editions of CDs of this over the years. I had the CD box set of this, and I still wanted a copy on vinyl. And probably one of the only. I probably have 1 or 2 Mobile Fidelity Sound Labs in my collection. I just can't stand their fucking company. Sorry, excuse my language. They're asinine who they think they are by putting this god awful Mobile Fidelity strip over the artwork of these amazing albums. Who do they think they are putting their fucking shit just because they assly reissued them bogusly and fucking lied to people about them actually from master tapes? No fucking company. Fuck Mobile Fidelity. Fuck those guys. Fucking hacks. But I only have like 2 or 3. In fact, I can't even think of a second or third one I have by them. But I'm just saying I might have 2 or 3 just because I would think I have someone somewhere. But this could be the only one that I have because I fucking hate those guys. The nerve of those people to put their logo on the cover of iconic albums. So we got some other doozies in here. My first cult. Not only my first Sisters of Mercy, Tears of Fears, but also my first cult record review. Gonna go with their first album, Love, hitting off with a banger. Also, I'm going to review Slow Dives, Slovaki. Not a big fan of music on vinyl either, to be honest with you. But this is really before I knew what they. I don't think I still open this either. Because I've heard this so many times on CD and stuff like that. But this was I think their first reissue, like in 2010 or something like that. But I didn't know about music on vinyl at the time. I rarely buy music on vinyl anymore. They're also another label that I don't think does a good job of reissues. And then I'm going to review. This isn't the cover of it, but I'm going to review Black Celebration by Depeche Mode. That'll be a big one. I didn't feel like getting the record off the wall. I have it in my other room on the wall, framed. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Those releases to review. It's going to be a strong couple weeks of reviews, that's for sure. Just to show you some of the other things that I've got. Well, not gotten, but actually I did get these 3 records this week. As some of you know, Aphex Twins Saw 2 got reissued, which is exciting. Even though I have the 2012 reissue and I have the original double CD, and I mean, I know this record by heart, which is hard because it's a double, 20, original one was like 21 songs or 20 songs or whatever it was, but I did like the embossing they did on this. I also did buy it's over here somewhere. I also did buy the 3-disc set on CD so I could kind of keep this sealed. I'm not a big fan of this plastic sleeve, but I can understand why they did it because, to seal plastic, 4x12, it's a 4-record set, to seal it with plastic may not, I wouldn't say it's more ergonomic than using this big plastic thing, but it does kind of suck because you don't know if the records are sealed or not, or unused, which is interesting because now you're not going to know if any of them are not been recorded, which is strange for the secondhand market. For people that buy them, I mean, you can still sort of tell when you pull out a record, the first time. Sometimes you can still tell, but not always. But interesting that they didn't seal this record and just put a plastic, flap over it, and then put the sticker on it. Interesting, but I did get the 3-disc CD so I could keep this, as a backup. But again, I still have a near mint 2012 reissue. I did have a sealed 2012 reissue, which I sold a couple of months ago for, I think it was like $350 or something like that. So I had got wind of this. A little birdie told me that this was coming, so I ended up selling that record before anybody really knew about this one, which was, I was lucky in knowing that. Don't tell me how I knew that, but yeah, but really cool reissue. Also, another record I got out was this is kind of a rare, kind of Balearic, kind of ambient house track from Titaro. I think that's how you pronounce it. It's called Key Largo. From 1991. It's kind of a really cool kind of ambient house track record. Titaro was kind of mostly known for a different track, something the world or something like that. It was on a few compilations, and that was kind of one of their most popular tracks. But just recently, I had heard this, and because they only have like 3 records, and and so I really didn't. I was like, okay, well, they were on a compilation back in like 1995 that I knew and liked, and I liked that song, but I never really got around to checking their stuff. And I happened to hear Key Largo. I think it's the gospel version, and I really liked it. So I kind of ponied up some money for it. It was about $35. So normally I don't. It's very rare these days that I spend over $20-$30 on a record, a used record. Just in the last couple of years, I've been kind of doing some bargain basement digging lately, and buying $2, $3, $4 records and stuff. And I did buy this one also. This one was like 10 or so bucks. It's Tim Jackow's he's a really good ambient techno electro producer from Australia. This is the 7th Sign label, which has been going strong for 25 years now. This is their, it's called Vanishing Point by Tim Jackow. Really strong producer. If you want to check out some really good ambient techno and electro, his name is Tim, and his last name is spelled Jackiw. So it's kind of interesting. It's Jackow, I think. Jackiw. I think that's what I said. Really strong producer. He's been doing stuff for like the last 20-25 years, but didn't really get known until probably the last like 7 or 8 years, and really strong producer. Just want to show you some ambient records I've been listening to lately. Anthony Kirby's. I've been going through his Lammergear series. This is his most recent one, Behind the Lines. I really like these packages. This is really nice. It's almost like sorry if you can't, it's hard to see there, but it's kind of like a plastic, but it's kind of thin. Just covers a CD, just barely. very small, kind of thin. You know, I think it's right, kind of unique. I hadn't seen ones like these before, and this one's from like 2013. But you know, Data Blom Records and Data Obscura Records, they've been going for like almost 25 years now. I'm a hardcore supporter of their labels over the last 25 years since they started. Um, I had a couple friends that released on their label back in the day. Danny Creutzfield, back in the early days, like 2003, when the label was kind of in their first year or so. And yeah, just I followed them ever since. I probably got close to, oh my god, I think between the two labels, Data Obscura and Data Blom, I think they probably have around maybe almost 300 releases now, and I probably have around 100 of their CDs. So I've been going through the Lammergeier series. This is Lammergeier is also known as Anthony Kirby, which is the owner of the label, Data Obscura. Here's Beneath the Sky. Most of their CDs look like this. Especially if you do the first you know 8 or so years. They're kind of they're kind of flimsy, but they work well. They're solid. They're kind of like the box set ones. Like, have you ever seen Depeche Mode's box set? You know, kind of these kind of thin ones. If you know these, most of the label is in the early years. So it's Beneath the Sky, Borders and Barrens. Really cool thing about Lammergeier stuff is it's not really like field recordings. It sounds like it, you know, Borders and Barrens. It kind of has that kind of I wouldn't say architecture, but that kind of landscape of the sounds. It's kind of sweeping stuff. It's kind of almost soundtrack. There is a little bit of field recording in there, but you know, a nice balance of minimalism and soundtrack music. Really good. But it is on the more ambient side for sure. There's also Borrowed Time, which I have 2 copies of. Blue Oasis is really good. And then also his first one, Birds of Prey. Really good stuff. I have 6, he has 7. He also records under this other name that I was listening to, but he records under Nunk of Stands, Lammergeier, and also Circular Ruins. But I have 6 of his 7 under Lammergeier. There's still one that I haven't got around to getting. I also was listening to Horizon, which is kind of an ambient slash dub, a little bit of trance in there as well. They did these 2 albums back in the early 90s. The Three of Swans, and then also this one's Through the Found Window. They also have a 2x12 record that I have as well that has a few of these but different remixes on it. But kind of cool, kind of ambient techno and dub. But the artist is called Horizon. I don't know if you can see that, but Horizon 222. Very cool stuff. Ambient, dub, trance, techno. Also been listening to a little bit of Eric Wallow. He's from, I want to say he's from Norway, but don't quote me on that. Yeah, I'm not sure. I can't remember where he's from. It's definitely one of the Scandinavian countries. Obviously with a name like Wallow. Is it Norway or I don't think it's Iceland. I think it's Norway. Anyway, his album Blue Radiance and also Gateway. Been listening to those this week. Also, I listened to Dieter, excuse me. Or is it Dieter? I don't know. Dieter? I don't know. He's kind of an older gentleman. You know, he's been doing music for like 30, 40 years. Or releasing music for like 40 years. He kind of does like it's kind of spiritual music. There's a picture of him right there. He's obviously from, pretty sure he's from Germany. But he's kind of new age, kind of spiritual healing. He kind of uses like wind instruments and strings, electronic instruments. It's a little bit more on the new agey side. I wouldn't say it's like Zamfir or anything like that. It's not like that, but it's It's kind of, there's some wind instruments in here, and but it's a little bit more on the new age side. It's deep enough to where it's not corny, which I really like. So if you ever want to check them out, it's some really good music to sleep to. Deuter. Deuter. Also, I've been listening to some Steve Roach, of course, always. His awesome album, Dreamtime Return. His Core. And then also, I've been listening to his new album too, but I didn't bring it over. It's something, I think it's called Parallel. And then also I was listening to Tomorrow. Really like this one. This one's good Berlin School ambient right here. Nice sequenced music. But yeah, I've been listening to his Parallel one too that came out last month. That one's his newest one. But yeah, that's what I've been listening to. And that's why I've gotten a couple purchases this week. I do also have the new Jonas Monk CD coming to me. I did a review, overview on his music. I'm excited about this one because his last release was digital only, and this one he put on CD, and he did a double CD pack and then put the other one on the CD. So it's actually going to be 2 albums in this next one. So I'm excited about that. Also, I got the new Neuron coming to me. Was an ambient techno producer out of UK from the early 90s. So his unreleased, I think it's an unreleased 2-record set coming from him. He used to be on Like Mind Records back in the day, and he's had a nice resurgence the last couple of years with some really good ambient techno. I think that's all I got coming to me. Just those 2 records. This should be hopefully in my box today. But yeah, that's what I've been listening to, and that's what I'm going to be reviewing coming up. So hope you guys will stick around and check out those reviews, and hopefully you'll like some of them. All right, thanks so much.